When FTX crashed, people from New York Times, from Athletes, from every CNN, everybody reached out to me to share my own side of the story. I refused everybody because I did not want my personal brand name to be permanently attached to FTX. You have to know what to share, when to share it.
What do you think as being in public?
You want to humanize your brand. Someone told me that I wanted to know what this guy does exactly for him to be able to afford this kind of car. That was how that person actually became a developer in the Web3 space.
Wow.
I to hear that Web3 marketing, they are doing everything else. What marketing?
I mean, I no longer call myself a Web3 marketer because the title, the phrase has been bastardized, right? Everybody's trying to build their brand as a Web3 marketer, when the best way to do that is to build your brand. As a Web3 marketer, yes, probably the work that you do.
You're doing. There was someone that came on stage, so I was crying on stage. He was talking about failure as a founder, something like that. All of us enjoy PTM, but you don't believe, say, for evening, like all of us go club.
Bro,
Millions for everybody on the table.
your founder raised and he started to do podcasts. Just the thing. I actually had a company one time that I was scared I would drag them if they fire me. So I knew that I had a very good weapon in my hand.
Builders out there who maybe are bringing trying to launch a product in Web3, or like to build something out there. What's one advice you give them as they start building?
Hello everyone!
Welcome to a new season of the Not in Africa podcast, where we'll talk about latest gist in the tech ecosystem, topics people are shying away from, and not like insider gist from founders, developers, designers, and community leaders. I'm Timothy.
And I'm Bami, and we're your co-hosts for this season. This season is in collaboration with Mastermind CC, a creative agency for those cool companies and creators. And we are so excited to be here. Don't forget to subscribe,
Like and share with everyone.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Not in Africa podcast, where we talk about the latest trend on tech, Twitter, insider G's, and also opinions and talk with people are shying away from in the tech ecosystem. And for today, we are having an amazing conversation, which sometimes people might say might be controversial or not, is around building in public. Should you be in public or should you not be in public as a tech person? So this kind of focus on tech in general. If as a tech professional, as a designer, as a developer, being in Web2 or Web3, if you should put your career out there, maybe for opportunities or maybe for validation, maybe for marketing purpose. If you should, if you should not. And even if you should, when should you do it? And I'm here with your international co-host who said...
Just listen. It's okay. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Bami and super excited to be here and co-hosting with this Black Monkey. Yeah.
You forget you're black, but that's actually racist.
Okay, so we're here today to have this very, 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 very interesting topic, interesting conversation around building in public. I mean, there's always how much can you put out there? How much do you withhold? Do you want to put your whole life out there? And yeah, we had the best thing.
Exactly.
The best
for this conversation.
Okay.
When you talk about building in public, right? Being there, done that. Still even doing it.
Still doing it.
He has done it for a very long time. I even not understand how he does it. There was a time on the particular panel where I ran something on Web3 adoption. And while I was on the panel, he was tweeting, he was posting, he was right there engaging. So even before everyone left the panel, he has 20 about what's going on, right? So it's a lot. No other person than your
favorite.
There's a word, you know what I call him? Fine boy, ecosystem fine boy. Ecosystem fine boy.
Doctor.
Yeah. Doctor
Harri.
That's what we're actually. Doing. This particular episode, it will be engaging and it will be.
It's a bit.
There's so many words I want to say. I might get dragged, but again, if I'm with him,
You're safe.
I'm safe. Yeah, he's ready here on the conversation, so I'm still getting dragged online. If he just do the dragging right thing, that dragging me online. So yeah. So for you personally, right? What do you take as being in public? Do you feel?
Wait, let him introduce him.
Oh yeah, it might have a better way to do the culture. Yeah, correct.
I feel like you guys have already done justice at least in the context of the conversation. So my name is Harri Obifuli, but popularly known as Harri Obi, especially on social media. Yes, I'm a doctor. I have a doctorate degree.
Yes.
Valid, yes. Should add that to every introduction, every time on stage.
Yeah, I've been in the crypto space for a while now. I think going to 5 years. I've worked for a couple of really major crypto companies, and currently I drive ecosystem growth for the third largest crypto ecosystem globally, which is Solana. So I do this through a community called Super Team. And yeah, it's been an exciting journey. And I mean, yeah, like you guys said, hopefully the conversation is really fun.
It will. So I think that adjusts me into my first question, right? What's building public for you, right? I think you have been doing that for quite a time. For everything you have done, for I think all try your career, most of your career, kind of like put out your work, what you are doing, and also like even for the ecosystem you are currently in, kind of like criticize and drop opinions regarding what makes sense, what does not make sense, what are people doing, they should not be doing. So for you, was in quotes being in public? Is it sharing your career progress, or are you sharing everything about you online?
Out.
Yeah, I think primarily is obviously in the context of what we do, career.
Yeah, career-wise.
It's sharing what you're currently working on. Like you mentioned, your career progression, at least in the inside, but on the go is sharing your day-to-day work, what you do. That is it primarily, right? But I personally, it's my personal belief that you also want to humanize your brand.
Yeah.
Yes, we know you're an amazing developer. We know you're an amazing growth strategist, whatever it is. But what are the other aspects of your personality, your life that is interesting, that would be appealing to other people?
Yeah.
I share a lot about my work. So my primary audience across social media are people in that line of work,
Yeah.
right? But I also know that when I share those other parts of my work that are of my life that are not work related, it attracts other people to me, right? So for example, I can share about the fact that that I'm married, right? So the people that, okay, this guy seems like he has an amazing career and is married, so I'd love to learn how he combines
Both.
both,
Family.
right? Personally, I also love cars. I've seen people, I mean, so many people, not just, but someone told me that when you posted a car, I wanted to know what this guy does exactly for him to be able to afford this kind of car.
I think I saw a comment like that.
Yeah, and that was
9 to 5.
Yes, exactly. And that was how that person actually became a developer in the Web3 space.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was. Yeah, he was like, how is it? I mean, who is able to afford this kind of car? And then,
Exactly.
he was already in bit technical. He decided, you know what? So, it's primarily sharing your work life, but I think there's also room. Obviously, you have to do it in moderation, where you can share all the aspects of your life that are non-work related.
So if we bring it down to people in the tech ecosystem, right? What do you think is the best time for people to start, building in public, like building a brand in public? Is it at the early stage of a career, or maybe at the middle level of a career, or maybe when you are already up there that you start building in public? Or you can do it when I start, I want to go into tech, I want to go into Web3, I want to be a designer. Should I start doing that diligence for beginning that in brand, I'm an 18 years old designer, right? Put out my profile, this is day in the life of a 18-year-old designer, day one. Should I start doing it at the early stage of my career for you, or do you think you have to build substance to a point for yourself, creating that brand and building in the public?
I think regardless of where you are in your career, you have a story to share, and there's somebody that story would resonate with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that for us senior people, I mean, some of us get irritated when we see people that we think haven't achieved much, doing so much in that building in public sphere, right?
Right, man.
But speaking from experience, I started sharing my work when I just got into marketing, Web2 marketing, right? For example, I started working in an influencer marketing agency, and one of the first campaigns I worked on was the campaign that it was a Pepsi campaign when Pepsi signed Burna Boy and Tiny the Entertainer as ambassadors, and then they unveiled them during it, I think 2019 Big Brother Nigeria, right? It was my first ever marketing campaign, my first ever influencer marketing campaign experience. But I share that. I was young in marketing. I was new to influencer marketing, but sharing that campaign brought a lot of younger people. They're thinking of going into marketing. It also attracted a lot of older people that are already marketing to me. So I don't think that you have to wait till you build up enough substance or your resume or your CV is padded, right? You can start from the scratch to share.
Padded. Padded is relative. It's a little conversation. Packaging, padded, really substance. It's a conversation that will take us in the right direction in the tech ecosystem in general. So, why like talking more on building in public? I don't like opportunities that unlocks. I don't like the good part of it. I don't like the bad part of it that people should be aware of when you want to tap building in public. So noting that building in public is not just you coming online and posting stuff and then sharing stuff. The opportunities are there opportunities that unlocks, or are there other bad things that comes from sharing in public that people should be aware of when they do that?
Yeah, I'll start with the negatives. Yeah, I think at some point when you start building in public, if you don't self-moderate, you find out that you would probably spend a lot more time trying to put up an appearance than doing the actual work. Because you built this brand of this really good technical person or non-technical person. You built an audience that follow you, and you start to get that dopamine rush from when you tweet something and you get a lot of engagement, right? So you run the risk of focusing too much on building a brand, building a personal brand, than doing the work, right? There's also the part of, it's very normal. People would just not like you for different, wait till they work this one. Not only do you understand? So there's that part where you also you attract the good, but you also start to attract the bad, right? Because the people that would generally be looking for what you're down for, right? It's very normal, right? But I also think that the positives outweigh the negatives, and I'm a perfect example. I tell people that every single thing that I've gotten in my life, or the biggest thing I've got in my life, they came through social media because I was building in public, right? My first ever, I've been in crypto space now. My first ever crypto job came because I was actively sharing the campaigns I was working on, the browser I was building. And when this crypto company called FTX at the time were looking for somebody to drive marketing for them on the continent, my name was one of the few people that came up, and it was only because I was actually sharing what I was doing in marketing, right? So the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, no doubt. It will bring you a lot of the. The person that is visible would obviously get more attract opportunities than the person that isn't. You might be a better growth person or marketer or designer than I am, right? But if everybody knows me and I'm speaking at events, I'm here at the podcast, there are marketers that I'm sure that are way better than me, but they don't get invited to your podcast.
Yeah.
They don't get invited to the event that we spoke at. They don't get invited. They don't get invited to travel, right? Yeah. So it's that's how I see it.
How do you then balance being daft and be like, self-employed? How do you balance being daft or not good?
No.
Not good, than again, because if you go online, you see
We see a lot of things.
and
Like,
we did about that episode where we talk around open source contribution, people that contribute to open source.
Yeah.
There was a guy that is an open source advocate. He want to talk about advocacy in open source. Number one, they have been championing advocacy. But that time, we were like, took a step back. I want to share this guy's GitHub and figure out if you usually contribute to open source. Bro! Nothing.
there was even one of recent now. The one that said,
The guy that said he works with Google.
Yes, that guy that went
oh, it's
viral.
supposed to be.
Went viral.
Building a point. So again, so I'm trying to understand the real balance when it comes to building in public. What's really building in public and what's shalayin? What's it just is it packaging or hyping yourself up? Because like you said, people who talk more, who show and share what they are doing more, they have more opportunities than people who don't share. So how do we then create that balance regarding me being good and
I'm good at it, and then I'm putting myself
out there?
I mean, I think you already answered. I think the question already answered itself because it's very dangerous to portray who you're not. Because eventually people will catch on, just like the examples you gave.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see so many situations. There was a guy that was very popular at the time. You guys might remember. You guys were in the tech space that he lied that he had a Tesla.
Oh, that guy.
That he went to MIT.
MIT. Yeah.
Then
that he
went to MIT.
There was even someone that came
was
on
working.
an episode that they worked on that.
They worked together.
They worked. The guy worked on that.
The guy does it. Yeah, I know a couple of. I have a couple of female friends that the guy has.
He did a lot.
Yeah.
When the guy to personally, career-wise, I think the time I even told her that posted online, but I found out that she was working for a company in Canada, right? That she has a Maserati. I woke up one morning, I saw that my friend has a Maserati and is working for a company in Canada. Not way back 4-5 years ago.
Yes.
Bro, I got that here. No, like that change. You don't tell me say that change. I'm like, no, I said, come online. You are working for a Canada company. You have a Maserati. Like, no. They reach out to the guy. I'm like, he's helping her, put that package as
I said on the guy. I mean, exactly to the point of
when is it not packaging? When is it building in public?
When is it?
And when is it packaging?
you can package and be building in public.
Okay.
Hi.
Packaging is not. It's not a bad word.
This is not?
Yeah, packaging is basically branding, right? I mean, it can have negative connotation, but this guy they package well.
Yeah.
It means that you understand. So he's trying. It's not when I understand where you're coming from. It's not when you then infuse lies and your value does not measure up to the brand that you're building. That's exactly where we should land at. Right. So if you are going all out with doing branding and doing the packaging, and being the voice and whatever, being the face, whatever, your contribution must also show it. And the problems we've had in the tech industry is because people, like I said at the beginning of the conversation, people don't self-moderate. They spend so much time doing the personal branding and packaging part, and they neglect the work. And eventually, somebody's going to ask, okay, this guy really do this. So you must always find that balance. That is why I tell people that the best way to package is to actually package with your work and not as a
Cloud chaser?
No, not even cloud chaser. There's something they call it an opinion leader or a thought leader. Yes, you don't want if you're going to be a thought leader, it should be through your work. For me, for example, I have a job, right? I drive ecosystem growth. Anybody can go and see the work that we did last year or last week, right? And I'll give you an example. The community hit over $1 million in GDP. We worked with the federal government to launch the National Youth Block. You can see all of the things.
Yeah.
If you're known for that, it is fine. Like people know, okay, he's a Solana guy. He's also a thought leader in the Web3 space. That is fine. Yeah. But there are guys that you cannot trace exactly what they do. They just know that Just
They
like the
did.
open source guy. They are once they're popular. What they do?
Thank you.
So that is where the problem lies. Yeah.
So for you, right? They do that. So for you, right? What do you feel is the perfect way for you to build in public? So let's say for someone who wants to start building in public as a beginner, or maybe as
Build with your work.
so basically just sharing what you're doing.
What your build, that is the best, surest, waterproof, whatever you want to call it, way of build with building, jack, whatever, right? It is the best way. It is not. So you want to be a designer, for example, or you want to be a totally design space. Don't come and be telling us about the design you saw on YouTube or the design trend or design meta. No, tell us what kind of design work you're currently working on. That is the best way to do it, right? I stopped talking about marketing as a concept, or I stopped talking about the marketing industry. In my Web2 life, I used to do that a lot. Like I would dissect campaigns of like McDonald's campaigns. I would dissect. So we would watch Super Bowl, and I would do a thread of like all the Super Bowl ads, and we would look at like old jingles, and I used to do a lot of that. But it's like I said, it's not the best way to build your personal brand, right? So you would never. That's why when people start talking about Web3 marketing is Web3 marketing that, I never join the conversation, because I feel like, one, it's not the right way to build a brand, but it's also not sustainable, right? The best way to do it is to share your work. I'd rather tell you the campaigns that I worked on for Super Team or Solana last year. I'd rather tell you about the event that we're planning, the work that we're doing with the federal government. I mean, when I went to the National Assembly to speak to the ad hoc committee on cryptocurrency, I didn't just go there to take pictures. I also, on Twitter, I shared my full speech, right? And that, it brought a lot of engagement. So it's the best way to actually build in public.
So before I ask before I ask my question, I happen just by chance to hear that Web3 marketing, they are doing everything else but marketing.
See, I see. I don't have to say a joke, but I start saying.
Say that some people are earning they're paying them quite a lot for doing absolutely nothing. So
They talk about marketing and that's
talk
something.
about what?
Pain.
Again, you are saying people that you heard somewhere that by chance not by chance. I know someone tweeted out. Someone made that post.
Oh, okay.
I know when they were dragging someone about it, but glad to regarding marketing for his company. Then they just said, "We're 3 people in marketing do other things apart from doing the marketing themselves."
So
I think I remember someone that did made that.
It was me that I tweeted something like that. I think I tweeted something like that.
Oh, awesome.
So I was like, Web3 I was like, the trend is that Web3 marketers. I think I saw that too, but I think I said something very similar.
Yeah, I think it's so done.
It's exactly what it's exactly what I talked about, right? Because my God, it was a problem at the time, because it was very irritating, because we then had a lot of Web3 marketers that were trying to build their brand as Web3 marketers. But the problem was that they spent a lot of time talking about Web3 marketing as an industry and as a concept, that actually doing the work or sharing the work they were doing. And that was a very big problem. So if somebody that is building her brand as a Web3 marketer, for example, will come out today and say, technical founders don't regard Web3 marketers, the industry needs to change. And that person will come and say, Web3 marketers need to start Web3 markets. I'm like,
to start doing.
So I tweeted something. I was like, if you're angry that the industry doesn't want to give you the respect as a Web3 marketer, it's probably because you guys are building your brand as a Web3 marketer instead of doing the work
as a Web3 marketer.
Yeah. So my issue with Web3 marketers is that they spend a lot of time talking about Web3 marketing as this external concept, right? Share what you're working on as a Web3 marketer. I mean, I no longer call myself a Web3 marketer because the title, the phrase has been bastardized, right? But let's say I am, right? I spend more time sharing about my work.
Yeah.
You would never see me come out to say, these are the 3 ways to launch a Web3 marketing campaign.
Wow.
It's very rare. And if I do, I would use my work as case study, right? So that is the problem I have with modern Web3 marketers, because everybody's trying to build their brand as a Web3 marketer. When the best way to do that is to build your brand as a Web3 marketer. Yes, probably the work that you do.
You're doing.
Yeah. Awesome. Now that I cleared that up. So where do we like put the transparency? Like, okay, I'm building in public.
Yeah.
I'm sharing my day-to-day. I'm sharing my my work, my activity, if possible, my lifestyle. And then when do we like bridge it and say not to affect your mental health or what?
Yeah, not to feel the pressure.
Not to feel the pressure.
Not to like more sharing.
I have to do this. I need to do this today. I need to eat.
Is it a
this
task
stuff.
or it just goes? Is it intentional? So being in public, should people take it intentional? Or let me put that to you. For you, is it intentional or you just do it?
Nah, the people.
You don't have to just do it because it literally just
The people that have a strategy, they call it personal brand strategy. Again, because I've worked for a comms PR agency, and I've worked on personal brands for individuals. I also know their HNIs, thought leaders, whoever. A handful of them actually have personal. I mean, we call it interns now, the Web3 space, but like personal social media handlers, handle their personal accounts. So I know people that are very strategic about how they do it. Personally, I do not, because I'm not building my brand as a Web3 marketer, as a thought leader. I'm just sharing my work, right?
Yeah, just karaoke.
Yeah, basically. So it's what you get. Yeah, I think is the best way to do it. It should be organic, and I think that is why I've been largely successful with building a personal brand. Because some days I'm very vulnerable. Some days I'm not. Some days I'm uptight. Some days I'm fighting. Some days people love.
Not some days, all days.
No, I don't fight again. So some days people love me. Some days people is oh. So yeah, I think it's the best way to do it is to.
So what's now? What do you put as transparent? Being transparent to your audience and your own personal stuff, like privacy. What do you like?
What do you keep private? What do you share?
Keep private? What do you share?
Oh, the things you keep private. Are you going to tweet after you have sex? No, you're not going to.
No, not.
People have
No.
I mean, there are things that you have to keep. I mean, do you want to expatiate?
Okay, not in that. Not in that context. Okay,
Well, because people actually do it.
Yeah,
People actually.
Oh.
I mean, there's a meme. There's an image that girls usually post when they just have sex on Twitter. Do you guys know that meme?
No, I do not.
Does anybody know that meme?
Okay, you know it, though.
It's a very popular meme. What the girl posts is she just. It's easy to tell. It's what the post is just like, oh. It's a doll face and it's like her hair scattered. You guys are.
I mean, losing 6 months.
That's very popular. Very popular. Once I see like my.
I have to go check what that means. So I have to be intentional the way I move going forward. So, but in the context for this, basically around why building, right? Or should you share your personal stories? Should you share maybe you have an issue while working in a particular company, right? Should you share those stories? Let's say, for example, you had a meeting with your manager and you kind of like did something regarding your work. Should you share those stories? Should you like maybe drag your manager out?
Maybe obviously the best, obviously not while you're working there, because by evening, you're jobless. Right? I'll just use myself as an example. A lot of when FTX crashed, global journalists, people from New York Times, from Athletes, from every CNN, everybody reached out to me to share my own side of the story. I refused everybody because I did not want my personal brand name to be permanently attached to FTX. I don't want whenever you search Harri B or Harrison Beautifully, the first thing you see is the CEO, right? So you have to know what to share, when to share it. I've talked about FTX. I talk about FTX in bits, right? But yeah, you have to be very. I've already said I'll write a book eventually about my experience in crypto, and obviously I write in detail my experience with FTX. So there's a way to do it. Don't be ras about it. Don't come on. Because yes, FTX might have ended badly and everybody hates FTX. But if you spend a lot of time dragging FTX, once you've communicated to people that want to hire you is tomorrow, if something bad happens,
I will
drag you.
So you don't want to build your. It's funny because I actually had a company one time that CEO told me that the reason that when we were having issues with the company, that the reason that they don't want to let me go is because they were scared of firing me. They're scared I would drag them if they fire me.
Wow.
I was like, so I knew that I had a very good weapon in my hand. But I'd never used it.
Yeah.
I've never talk about my company in negative light, even when we're done and all of that, right? But because they knew that I used to be very confrontational on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? So they felt, okay, if he's doing it for other people, why can't he do it for his company? But it's something that I would never do because you don't want to block potential hirers. Because the first thing they would do is, okay, who is this guy? to do like social media, do research, and then they're seeing you're dragging on your company while you work to it. Nobody's going to engage you, right? But there's obviously a very smart way of talking about it. I've talked about my time at Cassava and how the team were listening to Ross and the steps I took to try to rectify the issue. And when that wasn't working, I had to leave the company. You can talk about it within the context. If people are talking about why people left horrible bosses or whatever, you can jump into the conversation and share your insight intelligently. Yeah. But it's not the one that where are the ones there? My God, you don't want to do that. So I think, yeah, to the question, you want to, you want to do. I don't even share as much as I used to because when I was working in the agency, I would share like the day to day. But right now, I don't even do it. Right, there are things that happen every day in my workspace because now I'm not a manager of people, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to be the one doing the sharing, right? For example, but if it's fun, you can share. For example, when my wife launched her hair business, and the day I paid the people that I work with their salaries, I put in the group, ladies, don't spend your money anyhow, spend your money on this day. It was a very funny conversation, right? Basically, the moment I paid them, the moment I paid my employees, I started selling my wife's business. And they should. So it was a very funny. Am I caught in? They were yapping me. They're like, I bind you, Satan. And it was a very funny conversation that I put on Twitter. And people engaged, people liked it because it showed that one, you relate very well with your employees. And if the people that work under you can also be yabbing you, that means you're a very friendly boss. Yeah. So you want to do it with sense, basically.
Okay.
Do it with sense. That's
also, I think you're touch around across so many different like building in public. So what's that one advice you have to give to like builders out there who maybe are trying to launch a product in Web3 or like build something out there? What's one advice you give them as they start building?
Building probably has a lot of advantages. I was speaking with a founder in my ecosystem one time, and I was like, there are founders that have raised and have squandered the money, but they've been able to raise again. Do you know why they've been able to raise? Because they've been building in public. People know that.
Okay.
You can squander. You can squander money today and rationalize why you squandered the money, and people will feel sorry for you. Like, oh, he tried his best, or she tried her best, and you can now go to another VC, and it happens all the time. Because people look at it that it happens all the time.
Something.
I thought there might be a blocker or something.
It can be a blocker depending on again how you
Build in public, how you build it in public.
that's the line. How you build it in public.
How you built it?
So you can go from saying, oh, we didn't squander it, that we didn't factor so many expenses, all that.
We're looking for product market fees.
We're looking for product market fees.
We spend money from marketers, pay the load.
That you paid a lot of employees. That you can. There's a way you can build it in public. That would make. And the next, it'd be very easy for that person to raise, just keep on raising. It's the truth. Than you that
Quiet person, not
very quiet. You have an amazing product, but you don't share what you're building. It's your fair nature. I mean, so many founders meet me and like, oh my God, you're very natural with what you do. I just wish I could do it. I'm like, most times I just want to be in my house playing PlayStation 5 and just eating good food and watching Netflix. But I know that the success of the work that I do is also tied with how much I share. Right? Elon Musk till tomorrow, go to his timeline. He's retweeting and talking about Tesla. He's talking about SpaceX. Right? I just started following the founder of Netflix. That guy shares his own sharing, is proper sharing. There are people like that. There's Balaji, for example, used to work at Coinbase, now runs Network States. They share about those things. So if the richest man in the world that's about to become the first trillionaire is still sharing and sharing his products,
Why you?
who are you exactly that you want to do that? Right? So you start immediately. Just start immediately.
Yeah.
Just find a way to balance it, essentially.
Awesome. I think we have.
I think we are talking about everything. We are on this document, even way beyond, the whole scope of people building in public. So if you are out there, watching this particular episode and you have been thinking whether to build in public or not,
These are your signs.
These are signs saying that you should build in public, but you should build with sense, right? There's no between building in public and packaging yourself. Your substance, you can package, but you're in a nutshell.
Should have substance.
When your branding and your package don't be way higher than the value and substance.
Yeah, that you are giving.
Because again, on the long run,
and people should stop lying.
It would always cast.
Stop
because you would not know. You would not know where you would lead you to. Wait, but the guy with the hard Tesla, I think it was somebody. I remember.
So I think it was his own friend asking for the certificate for his MIT certificates.
Eventually, he started casting like, "Yo, this guy does not win. This guy is a liar."
Funny enough, that same guy that dragged him for his MIT certificates, they have dragged him for his company built. Yes, that same guy that asked him for his MIT certificate, or the same guy that there was arguing recently for his company that I said he returned money to investors. And later on, someone was now saying he was the one who founded the company and brought him on board. And he didn't return the money. He took the money to go and relocate to UK and start living a life in UK, bought Benz in UK.
Where did they want this Tuesday?
Yes. That we are not saying that you are dragging this guy because they are dragging your company. That's why I'm dragging this guy because you had like 2 to 3 years ago.
You did not
He's the one that was dragging that guy.
Yes. Yeah, I know started to the guy.
They also
are them there.
Look into the old trends.
So now them there.
They're dragging this guy today. They drag him tomorrow. I'm someone that is just for tracking.
It's a cloud setting.
It's a class. And sometimes looking through that's why most beginners usually they get tired when they look through the ecosystem. Like the people you call your mentors, your so-called mentors,
The people that are humans at the end.
the people you look up. In the humans at the end, we all understand we are humans now. But the people you look up to. So again, for me, while I was studying that, a lot of people I kind of look up that maybe come into the industry, I was like be in the industry and be part of the industry. But yes, along the line, you figure out that
Go meet your heroes.
When I tell people this, right? That's why when people tell me please mentor me, I'm like I don't want anybody putting me in the pedestal because I'm human. Tomorrow I can mess up. Like you just never know, right? So sort of looking at people like, oh my God, admire certain parts of them. What I even do personally is I have something called distant mentors. The people that I really look up to and I study from a distance. But I never make any attempt to get close to them. I just study certain aspects of them that I admire. The people that I admire for how they manage their families, the people I admire for how they build their careers, the people I admire for how educated they are, right? So I admire certain aspects of like different people, and I use that to also sort of build my own life. But don't think, oh my God, this guy is a god. Oh my God, the day he's going to just hold your hand, you're like,
It's not crushing. They call crushing.
That's basically what most people come to the industry to. Because I think I was part of I felt vision from that whole thing whereby I don't scare
No, only you.
No, I know.
Our guys.
You know our guys. This was that guy. This is that guy. This is that guy. I had a friend, right? That guy was his role model.
looked up. Even Asem Wata, who is like a really big egg boy in the industry, was
Even they were invested.
It's respected.
Some investors invested in.
yeah, the guy invested.
In his store. I think he kind of like really invested in.
The guy is I know the guy blocked me because the guy blocked me because I mean he apologized after that period and then something was happening between Solana and Ethereum. I think the co-founder of Solana said something about Ethereum, and the guy came to the comment section of the co-founder of Solana to say, oh, this is the Solana culture, this is that. I was like, bro.
How now? From where to where? How do
You should not be the person talking about how Solana culture is and how Solana culture is bad. Like, we know your story from way back, and that's the problem when you don't shit for church. The Tesla guy.
Is this the active now?
Yeah, yes, now he was now, but he changed his handle. But we know because we're following each other. He changed his handle, changed his brand, changed his name, changed everything.
Oh,
So yes, but I think because we're still following each other at the time when he did all of that. So, but when he tried to shit on Solana, I was like, no, like don't be saying shit. I think he fully migrated to the Web3 space. He still did. He just changed hands and format.
Yeah, there's been a conversation somewhere. How do you rebrand yourself?
when you're
We person to ask the question. I never cast.
Like you can't just repackage yourself. Let's say you are reading in public and it gets faulty.
you fall from grace.
First of all, I never cast. I never performed grace, right? So I don't know how to answer the question, but I'll answer the question as somebody that has worked in the PR communications and I've put out a lot of fire.
And so I've not fall in it. So I need to fall from grace. So again, people. So it's kind of hard for when you start building in public. Not for you to fall a problem.
Yeah.
Because there's this urge, there's this tendency for you to keep posting, keep sharing, keep.
And then people
Navigating politics. You keep navigating so many obstacles. Again, you will start farming people, right? It's not like you're playing to a particular circle so that at least bad. This circle they are right.
The problem about that casting and say you don't shit for church is that people will generally avoid you.
Not really.
People will avoid you. Like, people will not deal with you. People will not be seen with you in public.
Yeah.
It's
actually.
They might just, maybe because they're really cheap
It's not
guys.
that you see all of them quiet. All of them in their circle. They will not say
That's exactly my point. That's like if it was before you did rain, but the moment it happened, you just be shocked that
nobody.
I mean, we saw it. We saw it with the recent.
Not same.
We saw it with the recent Twitter drama with Ezra and the rest, right? The moment that happened, you were shocked. Everybody move. What are you gonna move?
Bro, no comments.
You'll be so shocked.
Guys,
So
go to people. Bro, everybody move. Nobody commented.
exactly why I said that. Don't ever fall into that hole, right? Because if you do, it's the only people that would give you opportunities will not be people that are very conversant or people that are in our own ecosystem. Like that Tesla guy now, if he wants to get a job now, he will go and apply for a job somewhere in Serbia or Croatia or because if he tries to get a job in Nigeria or even the UK and people ask around, he's never or America, he would do you understand what I'm trying to say? So
But what this guy did, this guy came back and do again.
who is that?
So I people that
Yes, now,
I mean, there are people that have been able to do it
3 times.
There are people
Do it
that
3 times.
I don't.
Just done.
Where there is popular.
Relax. I will see what I want to say.
Okay.
So I think from the era, these are public knowledge now. So you can't.
yes, public knowledge.
It's on Twitter, says public knowledge. So from the episode of Faith Code 54, the Ori-ish, that Ori-ish guy, he did Faith Code 54. I think he did Faith Code before. They did his whole
This because
what was it? That company that was helping people to get job and stuff like that. Then that one casted out. I found out that like he was using people like talking about jobs that was not.
Oh, the guy that raised that's
Then started this company. What was this fintech company?
Oh yeah, the guy that raised. Okay, yeah.
That money ended again.
Yeah, I know
That was something new again. Ended again. I think
then the friends came and
he has done try. He has done a try. I think is working
Was it the
for
one that was working for I think Amazon and he launched the company?
GitHub. I think it was GitHub.
GitHub, yeah, who was the guy?
Was that then he launched a company again? He has
And then he raised and then what's the name of the company?
he flopped again. He used everybody to
Yeah,
play with
because that was because the first 2 ones did not properly cast. Yes, it was a situation of the guys that be maybe in management style, they're very strict.
Yeah.
that fits our family custom.
There's no way you cast about MIT and Tesla and you're coming back to raise money in Nigeria again. There's no way you cast for sexual assault and you're coming back again. Like there's proper casting that way you cast, you know that you're done for.
They're done.
Right? I mean, the guy eventually casted the last one. If the guy comes again, do you think anybody's going to give him money? Let's even leave the fact that the venture capital space in Nigeria is almost like they said give us money again, right? It would be impossible for the guy to raise. But there are people that I know that again, it depends on how you build them in public. There are people that I know that
And now you fall.
either they raised and they misuse the money and they will write long threads about how it wasn't their fault and how and the people that would come out and just like the guy, they would come and act like it was just one thing about maybe their management that maybe they were strict or maybe somebody just hated them in the company. It's things like that. But there are castings that would happen and you know that you're done for.
Now I get the way you build it in public. I think there was someone that came on stage after running the company Fade. He attended an event. Came on stage, was crying on stage. Yes, just everybody cried on stage. Wow. How I was building the company. Maybe it was not the right time for the company to launch. It was not the right time. The market.
Don't start another one.
Yes, now the market was not ready for the product, something like that. I think he was talking about failure as a founder, something like that. Then he came on stage, cried on stage.
What event was this?
This should be 2024. 2024, I think so. 2024. So he cried on stage about being a feed founder and stuff like that. All of us joined PTM, but you know what? Believe say for evening, like all of us go club. We go club. This guy paid for the whole bill. So there was someone saying he's down, he's over, nothing more, bro. But you asked at night,
Bro,
millions. For everybody on the table. So then I get it.
I've seen people, I mean, like one of my very good friend, Dalu would say that once he invests in the company and he sees the founder moving around with convoy. He just knows that. We see things that people that would raise money and they start moving in convoy. The people that would raise and another one of people said that if you found a raise and he started to do podcasts, does the thing. Because I've seen things that people that would raise and they start taking bodies. Start taking they'll get technician visa move to UK, or they start taking bodies to Dubai, or they would. These stories. People do not want to talk about them publicly. I understand why, because nobody wants to make enemies, and nobody also wants to paint our ecosystem as bad, right? But these things happen, and these are the reasons why it's very difficult for founders today to actually raise capital, right? So yeah.
Okay.
I think we
at this point.
you said a lot. It's left for you when you start building in public, on how for you to not building in public, notice to share, things not to share, and
Stop lying.
Stop packaging the whole thing. Yeah, trying to be the problem. Stop being a thought leader, or stop being a.
Can be a thought leader if you are doing the work of a thought leader.
Do you work with a thought leader? That's the thing you are saying. Doing what doing marketing when you're not doing marketing.
Well, if you're doing it, you can be a thought leader there. Okay.
So she said, right?
By the way.
What she said. So you can allow nothing for that. So thank you very much for listening to us talk around eating in public, why you should do, why you should not. There's opportunities for you. So there's a downfall for doing that. Thank you very much, Dr. Harri. Yes.
Dr. R.
Getting a doctorate degree is not easy. You have to. For me, I'm done with this degree right now. You can't call me on stage without having a doctor to read.
I mean, for me, I didn't even forget that I'm a doctor. I'm not like the usual Nigerian
professors and doctors.
Professors, lecturers are like, if you graduate 10 years time.
Yeah, you forget to come in pro.
It's not that, maybe because I'm still relatively young, and I deal with a lot of young people. So, it's not that deep. Calling me, it feels like really formal. Harri is fine.
Anyway, Dr. Harri. Thank you so much for coming. And you can follow him on all the social media and all.
Yeah, Harri.I _OB. I'm always
active.
Active like Twitter.
You can go through his profile to figure out how to build in public, basically sharing your work, not just being a thought leader.
So thank you so much for watching this episode.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. And we hope we don't get dragged on these episodes.
Thank you.
Thank you.